So Fuego and D come back to the apartment, and D says, "So what you want to do with him?" And Fuego is like, "I'm not sure. Roughing him up earlier did feel pretty good, but I don't know if I want to unalive him." So in the midst of all of them talking and trying to figure out what they're going to do, Bernie hops up and tries to, assault Big D. And Fuego ends up knocking him back down to his feet, or knocking him back down to his feet. Okay? So once he sits him back down, then Big D ends up putting two in him. And so Fuego's like, "Why did you do that?" Like, "Well, what else was I supposed to do?" And Big D was saying. And so then Rob ends up starting to talk, and he's telling, because he done saw his friend get popped. So Rob starts telling him, "Well, look, we just did a job. A lady, some fancy lady hired us to do a job." And so Big D is like, "But you raped her." And he said, "Yeah, well, technically it was a gang raping, but I mean, just making it as if it was so light." But then he tries to say, well, we didn't know that was your girlfriend, as if they knew Fuego from a former life or something. And so, Fuego is pissed because the dude was saying, well, the kitty was good. And he was just trying to, egg Fuego on. So Fuego was like, nah, give me the blicky. And Big D was like, nah, you don't want that type of problem. Once you unalive somebody, it's a stain on your soul. But for me, I don't give a what. And so he ends up popping old boy in the dome. And that was a wrap. Rob and Bernie were up out of there. But then they go to get rid of the bodies. And then we see that there was a drone in the sky. And then Fuego starts to get a little paranoid, because he's saying, "Do you think they saw us? Do you think they saw us?" And in the midst of them not trying to get seen, or at least Fuego not trying to get seen, Big D gets out of the car and is about to get out of the car. It's like, "Do you want me to, shoot it down?" And Fuego's like, "Nah, because if they see you getting out the car and they didn't see us earlier, now they have seen you." So anyway, Big D is trying to, come up on whatever they got from the guys. So Fuego and D end up robbing the dudes, taking their identification. Big D wanted to keep this particular watch, but Fuego was like, "No, don't you know they can track stuff like that?" So in the midst of them, making some decent decisions and some not make so sense type of decisions, they end up realizing, well, at least Fuego ends up realizing what he's actually done, what he's now officially a part of, and he's hoping that he just won't get caught. Anyway, you guys, what are your thoughts on Fuego and Big D? Did they make a poor choice in unaliving Bernie and Rob? Or was it all justified? For me, it was justified. They had to go. Plus, talking trash about what they did to Sandra. Anyway, y'all, one thing I will say, though, Fuego really didn't get any answers. Who is this rich woman who came to us and paid for us to do this to Sandra? So Fuego really doesn't, his mind is also not just trying to stay free, but it's also about truly finding out who really unalived Sandra, who really put this hit out on her. Will he really find out, y'all, at the end of the day? Will Fuego truly find out that Madam has something to do with all of the shenanigans that went down against Sandra? I'm up out of here. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure you come back for the next recap.